2 months after the Davis administration implemented an amended price control list in an effort to help soften the blow of inflation on consumers, media reports suggest that there are some grocers that allegedly still have yet to comply with that updated list. But Economics Affairs Minister Michael Alcides says government has a zero tolerance for those who fail to follow the law.
Notwithstanding, you have some operators who say they can change the prices with the flip of a switch. Not all can do that, and so we sought to be reasonable and lenient in terms of allowing a transition period. But what we cannot abide is an outright defiance and an assertion that, they will not comply with the law.
This comes as SuperValu Food Chain's chief Rupert Roberts claims that their discompliance is a result of government not responding to their counterproposal sent in weeks ago. Well, here's Alcides' response.
There are no negotiations that will hold up the amendments. The amendments to the regulations are in place. We put them in place October 17th. We had some discussions with the retail grocers and retail pharmacists, but we had discussions with the retail grocers where they expressed some concerns. We went back and we made some adjustments. We increased some margins to account for perishables and to account for Family Island transportation. We thought that was a reasonable concession to some of the concerns that they raised. And so, for all intents and purposes, the amendments are in place and we expect them to be respected.
Meanwhile, price control officers continuing their routine checks amid claims that grocers are ignoring the new price control regime. Eyewitness News stopped at SuperValu's Golden Gates location where several price control officers were conducting their inspections. And while they cannot confirm if local operators are not complying, they assert that investigations will follow.
Just here, basically, we do this on an everyday basis, so it's not a particular out of range what we're doing. We do this every single day to every store, and so that is why we're here today, and we're just here to enforce the law and ensure that everything what is supposed to be done is being done.
Alcides also responding to store operators who claim that government is being one-sided as it relates to the price control regime.
This is margin added on top of the cost. So it's not that we're instructing people to sell at a loss. What we're saying is you establish your cost and there's this margin on top of it. And so we think our position is entirely reasonable.
Several weeks ago, members of the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association protested outside of the office of the Prime Minister after not complying with the new price control list, claiming that government did not respond to their proposal. But since then, they were able to reach a win-win agreement. Now, amid reports that some grocers refuse to comply, Alcides says government will enforce the law.
First of all, where any violations are suspected, there is an investigation that can be commenced. Penalties under the law for failure to cooperate in an investigation in terms of providing documentation, appearing before the commission. There are penalties, fine not exceeding $2,500, imprisonment of up to 6 months. Where someone is convicted of violations, there are penalties under the law, $5,000 fine, up to 12 months imprisonment, and this extends in the case of corporate entities to directors.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.